Hello everyone, welcome to the What If Anime YouTube channel. Today, we're diving into an exciting new story that will take your imagination to the next level. Let's get started. The scroll landed on Naruto's bedroom floor with a soft thud. "What's this?" he whispered, fingers trembling as they traced the crimson spiral etched into ancient parchment. Moonlight poured through his apartment window, illuminating dust motes that swirled around the enigmatic object like fireflies. He hadn't intended to sneak into the Hokage Tower's restricted archives, not truly. But at 8 years old, shunned by all and craving recognition, rules blurred, especially when whispers of his forgotten clan Uzumaki reached his ears from conversations he wasn't meant to hear. The name emblazoned on his jacket meant nothing to those who could explain it. Until tonight. With uncharacteristic care, Naruto unrolled the scroll, his usual energy stilled. The page brimmed with wild, flowing symbols, unlike the orderly script of academy texts. "That's not real writing," Naruto muttered, disappointment crashing over him. Another dead end. As he moved to roll it up, a drop of blood from an unnoticed paper cut splashed onto the parchment. The symbols writhed, twisting, and spiraling inward before bursting outward in a crimson flash that briefly blinded him. When his vision cleared, readable text had replaced the cryptic markings. "To the blood of the Uzumaki who awakens this scroll, our legacy lies not in monuments or lands, but in the living ink of our veins. The art of Fujitsu, the sealing techniques that made the world fear and seek alliance with Uzashio, is your birthright. Master a single seal, then return for the next. The spiral never ends, it turns inward to new beginnings." Uzumaki. Below was a diagram for a basic storage seal, simpler than the intricate arrays Naruto had seen in the archives but complex enough to dizzy him. Margin notes outlined its creation. "Storage seal," Naruto whispered, tracing the pattern. "Like Iruka-sensei's scrolls." A spark surged through him, linking him to something beyond his lonely apartment and Konoha's cold glares, his heritage. For the first time, Naruto didn't shout or scheme for attention. He grabbed a pen, lips pressed in rare focus. By dawn, ink blackened his fingers, and 50 crumpled practice sheets littered the floor. On the 51st try, channeling chakra as directed, his alarm clock vanished in a puff of smoke, stored within his ink seal. Naruto stared, jaw dropped, then a fierce, genuine grin, not his usual forced smile, spread across his whiskered face. "I'm Naruto Uzumaki," he whispered to the empty room, "and I'll become Konoha's greatest seal master." Outside, dawn gilded the Hokage monument, unaware that the Uzumaki clan's legacy had reignited in its unlikeliest heir. Deep within Naruto, behind potent seals, something ancient stirred with curiosity. 3 weeks later, Naruto sat cross-legged amid scrolls of spiraling seals, dark circles under his gleaming blue eyes. Sleep was irrelevant when his blood thrummed with his clan's rediscovered legacy. The storage seal was just the beginning. Once mastered, the scroll unveiled new instructions and diagrams, adapting to his progress. His latest project, a seal to absorb and redirect minor fire jutsu, had cinched his eyebrows twice, but the third attempt held firm. A sharp knock broke his focus. "Naruto, you've missed 4 days of classes." Iruka's voice cut through the door. "I'm coming in." Panic surged. Naruto scrambled to hide his work, but Iruka, using his spare key, froze in the doorway, staring at the seal-plastered apartment. "What is this?" he asked, eyes sweeping over walls covered in practice seals, scrolls strewn across surfaces, and the faint scent of chakra-infused ink. Naruto crossed his arms defensively. "I'm working on something important." Iruka stepped inside, dodging paper stacks, and examined a completed storage seal with astonishment. "Naruto, did you make this?" "Believe it," Naruto said, his catchphrase softer, tinged with quiet pride. Iruka knelt, confusion replacing anger. "Where did you learn sealing?" "This is Chunin level work at least." After a pause, Naruto showed the scroll, now displaying its third set of instructions. It's Uzumaki stuff, my clan's specialty, apparently. Irika paled, grasping the weight of it. Naruto, this is significant. The Uzumaki were renowned for sealing before Uzashio's fall. Protocol demanded he report to the Hokage, but instead, he sat among the seals. Show me what you've learned. Naruto's grin could have powered Konoha. For an hour, he demonstrated storage seals of varying sizes, a basic barrier seal repelling small objects, and his imperfect fire absorption seal. His enthusiastic explanations overwhelmed Irika, but Naruto's talent and connection to his roots were clear. Why didn't anyone tell me about my clan and what we could do? Naruto asked, a hint of vulnerability in his voice. Irika sighed, placing a hand on Naruto's shoulder. Most Uzumaki knowledge was lost when Uzashio fell. Few in Konoha know more than their Senju alliance and strong life force. Naruto frowned. There's gotta be more. The scroll mentions advanced techniques but says I need a proper foundation first. Academy classes are part of that foundation, Irika said carefully. Naruto grimaced. They're boring compared to this. Fundamentals like chakra control and jutsu theory are crucial for advanced sealing, Irika replied. After a pause, he added, attend all your classes, and I'll help find more Fujitsu resources. The offer hung like a primed explosive tag. After a wary moment, Naruto extended his hand. Deal, Irika-sensei. As they shook, neither noticed a faint red glow from the seal on Naruto's stomach, briefly visible through his thin shirt before fading. Within its prison, the Nine Tails watched, its rage softened by curiosity at the familiar spiral patterns. 2 months later. Focus, Naruto. Visualize chakra flowing from your core, through your arm, into the ink, Irika instructed. Sweat beaded on Naruto's forehead as he pressed his palm to a seal on his apartment floor. 2 months of daily practice had refined his control, but this modified barrier seal designed to filter sound rather than block objects kept slipping away. I'm trying, Naruto gritted, pushing chakra into the seal. It flared briefly, shimmering, then fizzled with a pop. Naruto collapsed, exhausted. It's so slippery. You're using too much chakra, Irika said gently. Sealing requires precision, not power. Easy for you to say, Naruto muttered. You don't have an ocean of chakra trying to burst out. His sealing practice had heightened his awareness of his vast chakra reserves, far surpassing his classmates and even Irika's. Irika frowned thoughtfully. We need a new approach. He pulled a small scroll from his vest. This might help. Naruto seized it eagerly. New sealing techniques. Not quite. These are chakra control exercises for those with large reserves, like the first Hokage used, Irika said, avoiding mention of the Nine Tails per the third decree. They'll refine your sealing control. Naruto unrolled the scroll, studying the first exercise with rare focus. Irika marveled at the boy's change. Naruto still wore orange, shouted his Hokage dreams, and pulled pranks now laced with clever seals. Last week, he'd swapped voices at the Inyazuka compound, making Ninken speak while clan members barked, via a gate-planted seal. It took Kurane 3 hours to undo. The Hokage was both impressed and concerned. Hey, Irika-sensei, Naruto said, breaking Irika's thoughts. This mentions chakra paper. What's that? It reacts to chakra nature, showing your elemental affinity, Irika explained. Fire burns it, water wets it, earth crumbles it, lightning crumples it, wind cuts it. Can we get some? The sound filter seal fails because I can't balance elements. Knowing my affinity might help, Naruto said, springing up. Irika blinked at the sharp analysis. That's perceptive, Naruto. That evening, after buying chakra paper from a shinobi shop, earning curious glances, they sat in Naruto's apartment. Channel a small amount of chakra into the paper, Irika instructed, handing Naruto a square. Naruto focused, sending a chakra pulse. The paper split cleanly, then its edges dampened before drying and crumbling slightly. Irika stared, stunned. That matches Uzumaki Chakra's signatures in Konoha's records: wind, water, earth traces. His bloodlines awakening through sealing. What does it mean? Naruto asked, studying the fragments. It's extraordinary for sealing, Irika said, sidestepping specifics. Wind affinity sharpens chakra patterns for precision, water flows and adapts, and earth grounds with stability, an ideal blend for a seal master, Irika explained. Naruto's whoop of joy likely woke half the neighborhood, but Irika couldn't silence him. The boy's genuine delight had replaced the desperate attention-seeking of months past. That night, Naruto sat motionless on his bed, arms around his knees, staring at the scroll now showing its seventh set of instructions, a seal to temporarily suppress a target's chakra. I'm doing it, he whispered to the empty room, to his lost clan, to faint dream memories of red hair. I'm learning our legacy. Within his seal, the nine tails shifted, uneasy, as memories of Mito Uzumaki's chakra chain stirred. The boy's rapid progress hinted at a path toward uncovering what lay within him, a prospect even the nine tails couldn't fully predict. This is unacceptable. Mizuki's voice rang across the academy training yard. Naruto, you were told to perform the transformation jutsu, not this. The blonde stood defiantly before his teachers and curious classmates, a glowing paper seal in his palm. It's a hench seal, Naruto countered. It does the same thing as the transformation jutsu but holds without draining chakra. To demonstrate, he slapped the seal on his forehead, vanishing in a puff of smoke to become a perfect replica of the third Hokage, pipe included. See? Naruto said in Sarutobi's raspy voice. No hand signs, and I could keep this up for hours without losing chakra. Irika rubbed his face, exasperated. Naruto's habit of replacing standard techniques with sophisticated seals was brilliant but disrupted standardized testing. That's not what was assigned, Mizuki snapped, a vein throbbing in his forehead, his tolerance for the demon brat thinning as Naruto's confidence grew. Across the yard, Sasuke Uchiha watched, eyes narrowed. The dead last was producing work even he, the prodigy, couldn't match, and it stung. Irika intervened. Your seal is impressive, Naruto, but you must master standard jutsu. Seals have limits that direct chakra manipulation doesn't. Naruto, still disguised as the Hokage, crossed his arms in a pout unfit for the dignified leader. Like what? For one, seals can be removed or damaged, Irika said, flicking the paper on Naruto's forehead. The transformation dispelled instantly. For another, standard jutsu can be adjusted mid-use. Seals require redrawing for changes. Naruto's shoulders slumped. The seal was meant to impress, to showcase his growth, but it highlighted his struggle with basic academy techniques. Fine, he muttered, pocketing the seal. I'll work on the stupid transformation jutsu. As students left for lunch, Sasuke bumped Naruto's shoulder. All those fancy seals, and you can't do a basic transformation, dope, he smirked. Naruto bristled, but another voice cut in. Actually, I thought it was clever. Both turned to see Shikamaru Nara leaning against the academy wall, looking bored despite his interjection. Nobody asked you, Sasuke snapped. Shikamaru shrugged. Just saying, modifying a technique to save chakra shows tactical thinking. Even the great Uchiha might appreciate that. Sasuke's eyes narrowed, but he walked off without reply. Thanks, Naruto said, surprised by the support. Don't mention it, Shikamaru said, pushing off the wall. Those seals aren't academy standard, are they? They're Uzumaki clan techniques I've been learning, Naruto replied. Something flickered in Shikamaru's sharp eyes. Interesting. My dad mentioned the Uzumaki were Konoha allies before their village fell. Yeah, I only found out recently, Naruto said, kicking the dirt, unusually subdued. Nobody told me before. Shikamaru studied him. If you're developing clan techniques, register them with the Hokage's office. It protects them legally. Legal protection? Naruto asked. Clan techniques are intellectual property. Without registration, someone could steal and claim your work, Shikamaru explained. Naruto hadn't considered this. His seals were a personal tie to his heritage, not a legal matter. Sounds like a drag, he said, echoing Shikamaru's catchphrase. A faint smile crossed Shikamaru's lips. Most important things are. Their talk was interrupted by Kiba Inuzuka's shout. Naruto, show me that transformation seal again. Kiba bounded over, Akamaru yipping. Despite or because of Naruto's voice-swapping prank, Kiba respected his ingenuity. A small crowd formed Kiba, Koji, even Ino craning her neck while keeping her distance. Naruto explained the seal's basics with rare patience. Only Shikamaru noticed Hinata Hyuga watching from behind a tree, Byakugan active, studying the chakra flow in Naruto's seal. The academy's dynamics were shifting, realigning around Naruto's unexpected talent. That evening, Naruto stood nervously in the Hokage's office, fidgeting under Sarutobi's gaze. On the desk lay several of his seal designs, including the hench seal that sparked the day's commotion. Remarkable progress, Sarutobi said, tapping a chakra suppression array. Even Jonin would struggle to craft this elegantly. Naruto beamed. Thanks, old man. I've been practicing like crazy. Sarutobi chuckled, but his eyes were serious. Irika has informed me of your extracurricular studies. Naruto's face flashed with betrayal. He didn't break your confidence, Sarutobi added gently. As your teacher, he must report significant developments. Your sealing aptitude qualifies. Naruto crossed his arms, wary. Are you gonna stop me? Quite the contrary. Sarutobi stood, retrieving a leather-bound journal from a bookshelf, its cover bearing the Uzumaki red spiral. This belonged to Kushin Uzumaki, one of Konoha's finest seal masters. It's time it passed to you. Naruto stared, throat tight. Was she related to me? A heavy pause. Yes, Sarutobi said. A member of your clan who lived in Konoha. Her sealing knowledge was exceptional. Not the full truth, but more than Naruto had ever received. With trembling hands, Naruto opened the journal, revealing flowing script and complex seal diagrams. She innovated combat sealing, Sarutobi continued, watching Naruto's expressive face. Techniques applied in real time during battle, not pre-prepared. Combat sealing, Naruto whispered, tracing an explosive tag with modified triggers. Sarutobi's tone grew stern. Such techniques are dangerous if misused. Before attempting combat applications, you must master the academy curriculum, including standard jutsu without seal substitutes. Naruto met his gaze, determination hardening. Deal. I'll master the academy stuff and these techniques. Just watch me. Sarutobi smiled, a bittersweet pang at Naruto's resemblance to his mother in that fiery resolve. I have no doubt, Naruto. As the boy clutched the journal like a treasure, Sarutobi wondered if unleashing the Uzumaki sealing potential with the 9 tails inside was wise. Denying Naruto his heritage, however, felt crueler. Some risks were worth taking, even for a cautious leader like Hiruzen Sarutobi. Konoha had survived one seal-obsessed Uzumaki before. Thunder cracked as rain lashed Naruto's apartment windows, perfect for his plan. 6 months had passed since receiving Kushina's journal. He'd balanced mastering the academy curriculum, finally nailing the transformation jutsu without seals, to Mizuki's chagrin, and devouring every Fujitsu scrap he could find. Tonight, he aimed higher. Furniture pushed aside, Naruto knelt in his living room, painting an enormous spiral seal on the floor, not with ink but with his blood, collected over days and mixed with chakra conductive powder. Kushina's journal emphasized that advanced Uzumaki techniques required blood as a conductive medium, harmonizing genetic resonance. The technicalities eluded him, but the instructions were clear. This seal enhanced perceptual abilities, visualizing chakra networks without a dojutsu like the Byakugan or Sharingan, housed in a permanent matrix an edge few would anticipate. Lightning flashed as Naruto completed the final stroke. The sprawling design, with over 500 characters in concentric rings, pulsed with intricacy. "Here goes nothing," he muttered, forming hand signs and pressing his palms to the spiral's center. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, chakra surged from his core more than intended, flooding the blood seal in a torrent. The seal blazed crimson, pulsing with Naruto's heartbeat. The spiral spun, slowly at first, then faster, characters blurring inward toward a singularity beneath his hands. Something was wrong. Kushina's notes described a gentle warmth, not this chaotic vortex. "Stop." Naruto tried to pull away, but his hands were fused to the floor. Panic surged as the spiral accelerated, draining his chakra in waves that left him dizzy. Inside his seal, the nine tails stirred, alarmed by the Uzumaki blood chakra resonance. Its eyes locked on the spiraling energy, recognizing the boy's untrained sensory seal interfacing with its own containment seal. The seals formed a feedback loop, amplifying each other's power. For the first time in 8 years, the nine tails acted not from malice but self-preservation, pushing a surge of its chakra to disrupt the flow. The effect was immediate and violent. The spiraling seal shattered in a burst of red energy, hurling Naruto against the wall. Blood and chakra residue splattered the room like a grim painting. Naruto slumped to the floor, dazed but conscious, his vision swimming with after-images of the spinning seal. His chakra pathways burned as if infused with molten metal. As his senses returned, he noticed a strange duality in his perception. The room was overlaid with faint, glowing outlines, energy signatures from objects around him. He saw residual chakra in his practice seals, subtle emanations from plants on his windowsill, and even traces of Irika's presence from earlier that day. The sensory seal had worked, but not as intended. Instead of a controlled, activate-at-will ability, Naruto now had a constant, unfiltered awareness of chakra. Worse, he sensed a massive, malevolent presence pulsing beneath his own chakra network, a vast, ancient system caged within him, now partially visible. "What the hell?" he whispered, pressing a hand to his stomach where the foreign chakra concentrated. The nine tails, recovering from its intervention, withdrew its consciousness deep behind the seal. Too late, Naruto had sensed it, if not fully understood it. Struggling to his feet, Naruto stepped around the ruined seal. He needed answers, and only one person might provide them without dodging. The Hokage's pre-dawn was interrupted by an Umbu appearing beside his desk. "Lord Hokage, Naruto Uzumaki demands to see you. He's injured and highly agitated." Sarutobi set down his cup. "Send him in." Moments later, Naruto burst in, clothes stained with dried blood, eyes wild with fear and accusation. "There's something inside me," he said without preamble. "Something huge, angry, and alive." "What is it? What did you put in me?" Sarutobi closed his eyes briefly. He'd known this day might come but hoped for more time, more maturity. "Sit, Naruto," he said softly. "It's time we discussed October 10th, 8 years ago." As the storm outside cleared, dawn breaking over Konoha, Sarutobi revealed the nine-tail ceiling and the reason for Naruto's lifelong isolation and whispered hatred. By the time he finished, sunlight streamed through the office, illuminating tear tracks on Naruto's whiskered cheeks. "So, I'm its prison," Naruto said, voice hollow. "That's why everyone looks at me like that. They think I'm the nine tails." Those who remember were forbidden from speaking of it, Sarutobi confirmed. "I hope to shield you from this burden until you were ready." Naruto's hands clenched. And my parents? Were they just casualties, or is there more you're hiding? A flicker guilt, perhaps, crossed Sarutobi's face. They died protecting the village, Naruto. One day, when you're older, we'll discuss them fully. More secrets, more delays, but Naruto was too drained to press. Instead, he focused on practicalities. The seal holding it's an Uzumaki seal, right? That's why my blood chakra resonated last night. Sarutobi nodded, impressed despite his concern. Yes, the fourth Hokage used an 8-trigram sealing style, influenced by Uzumaki techniques. Naruto's mind raced, not with horror at hosting a demon but with curiosity about the seal's mechanics. I need to understand it, he said abruptly. If I'm living with this thing, I need to know how the seal works, how to maintain and strengthen it. Sarutobi studied him. This wasn't the expected reaction, no rage, no blame, just resolve to master the situation. Perhaps Naruto was readier than anticipated. Very well, he said. I'll arrange for you to study the 8-trigram seal's fundamentals, under supervision. Naruto nodded, exhaustion overtaking him as adrenaline faded. He swayed in his chair. Rest first, Sarutobi advised, signaling an umbu. Report to my office tomorrow after classes. We have much to discuss. As the umbu escorted a compliant Naruto out, Sarutobi opened a drawer, retrieving a sealed envelope labeled, to be opened when Naruto Uzumaki discovers the 9 tails. Inside was a letter from the 4th Hokage to his son, a contingency Minato had insisted on despite the secrecy around Naruto's parentage. Earlier than we hoped, old friend, Sarutobi murmured, breaking the seal. But perhaps not too early. Within its cage, the 9 tails paced restlessly, tails swishing through the ankle-deep water of Naruto's mindscape. The boy hadn't just sensed it, he was probing the seal, sending chakra tendrils to test its structure. For 8 years, the 9 tails had raged silently, occasionally leaking chakra when Naruto's emotions surged. Now, complexity disrupted that dynamic. A ripple in the water signaled an unprecedented event, Naruto's consciousness entering the sealed space deliberately. Naruto's mental projection appeared outside the massive bars, small but unflinching as he faced the colossal fox. So, you're the 9 tails, he said, voice echoing. The fox bared its teeth in a grin or snarl. And you're my insufferable prison. How delightful we're acquainted. Why didn't you kill me last night? Naruto asked bluntly. When my seal went haywire, you could have let it destabilize your prison. The 9 tails' eyes narrowed. Self-preservation, brat. Your death while containing me could have unpredictable consequences. I might be dispersed for years before reforming. So, you saved me to save yourself, Naruto said, sizing up the beast. Fun. I'm not looking for a friendship bracelet. The 9 tails' laughter rumbled like thunder. The insignificant vessel thinks it can stand as an equal. Not equal, Naruto corrected, stepping closer. Better. I'm learning the techniques that caged you, and I'll master them. The fox slammed against the bars, shaking the mindscape. Water splashed around Naruto, but he stood firm. Arrogant whelp. Do you know what I am? I've raised mountains and carved seas with a swipe of my tails. Naruto's eyes hardened. And yet you're trapped by ink and chakra, Uzumaki ink and chakra. For a moment, grudging respect flickered in the fox's eyes, replaced by a sneer. Your bloodline's nothing special. I've been sealed by Uzumaki before Mito, then Kushina. Both were far beyond you. The names struck Naruto like blows. You knew other Uzumaki? Who were they? The 9 tails settled back, amused. The old monkey didn't tell you everything, did he? How fascinating. Tell me. Naruto demanded, stepping closer, too close. A massive claw shot through the bars, stopping just short of impaling him. Knowledge has a price, little jailer. What will you offer? The fox purred. Naruto leaped back, heart pounding. What could you want? Access, the fox said silkily. Let me see through your eyes, feel through your skin. I've been blind and numb for 8 years. So you can control me. I wasn't born yesterday. If I could control you, I would have already, the Nine Tails retorted, retracting its claws. The seal prevents it? I want sensory privileges. Naruto considered, mind racing through seal configurations. I could modify sensory channels without weakening containment. I'll give you limited access sight and sound, no touch. In exchange, you tell me everything about the Uzumaki and their sealing techniques. The Nine Tails' tails swished. Half now, half when you deliver. Deal. Deal. The fox lowered its massive eye to Naruto's level. Mito Uzumaki, wife of the first Hokage, was my first Jinchuriki. She sealed me into herself during Hashirama's battle with Madara at the Valley of the End. Naruto's jaw dropped. The first Hokage married an Uzumaki. The Senju and Uzumaki were allied clans, distant kin through ancient bloodlines. Uzashio, the village hidden in the whirlpools, was Konoha's first and strongest ally. Information flooded Naruto's mind. His clan wasn't a footnote, they'd been foundational to Konoha. And Kushina, he pressed. The Nine Tails gleamed with malice. That's too much too soon. Fulfill your bargain first, little jailer. Before Naruto could argue, the mindscape dissolved, pulling him back to reality. He awoke on his bed, sunlight streaming in. 2 umbus stood in the corners, Hokage sworders, no doubt, but Naruto barely noticed. His mind swirled with revelations, the first Hokage's wife, a hidden village of his clan, and Kushina. The fox knew more, and soon, Naruto would too. His fingers flashed through hand signs, ending in a complex configuration that channeled chakra to a seal matrix on his forearm. A translucent barrier shimmered around him. Ebisu, adjusting his sunglasses, hurled 3 kunao in quick succession. The first 2 pinged off the barrier, the third pierced it, stopping inches from Naruto's face before falling harmlessly. Your left quadrant's weak, Ebisu noted. You're distributing chakra unevenly. Naruto grimaced, dispelling the barrier. I'm compensating for the Nine Tails' influence. Its chakra pulls to my right. 3 weeks had passed since confronting Sarutobi, 3 weeks of intense training under Ebisu, a strict but knowledgeable jonin. Officially, it was to manage Naruto's connection to the Nine Tails. In practice, it became advanced Fujitsu instruction pushing pre-genin boundaries. The Hokage wants you after today's session, Ebisu said, collecting his kunao. Something about your ancestry inquiries. Naruto's heart skipped. After their initial talk, Sarutobi had dribbled out Uzumaki clan details, testing his readiness. Is it about Kushina? He asked, feigning nonchalance. Ebisu's eyebrow arched. I'm not privy to the Hokage's plans. Naruto bit back a retort about adults and secrets. The session ended with Naruto demonstrating a modified 5-element seal to disrupt an opponent's chakra network. Ebisu, though stoic, seemed impressed. Later, freshly showered and buzzing with anticipation. Buzzing with anticipation, Naruto bounded up the stairs to the Hokage's office, flanked by silent umbu guards, now a constant presence. Inside, Sarutobi wasn't alone. A tall man with spiky white hair and red facial markings leaned against the windowsill, arms crossed over a scroll-adorned vest. Naruto, Sarutobi greeted, meet Jiraiya, one of Konoha's legendary Sunin and a Fujitsu expert. Jiraiya straightened, studying Naruto intensely. So, this is Minato's legacy. Got his looks, but his mother's fire. The casual mention of Naruto's parents hung like a primed explosive tag. Minato. Naruto whispered, the name electric. You knew my father. Jiraiya's eyes flicked to Sarutobi, questioning. We've begun disclosure, Sarutobi sighed. Naruto's rapid progress with Uzumaki sealing techniques forced certain revelations. Knew this seal prodigy stuff would stir trouble, Jiraiya muttered, then faced Naruto gravely. Kid, how much has the old man told you? Almost nothing, Naruto snapped, frustration spilling over. Just that my clan mastered sealing, allied with Konoha before their village fell, that the first Hokage married an Uzumaki, and I contain the 9 tails. But every time I ask about my parents, I get vague promises. Tension thickened the room. Sarutobi reached into his desk, producing a photograph. Perhaps it's time for clearer answers. He handed it to Naruto, who took it with trembling hands. A red-haired woman with a radiant smile stood beside a blonde man whose familiar features stunned Naruto. She was pregnant, her hand resting protectively on her belly, while he beamed with pride. Kushina Uzumaki and Minato Namikaze, Sarutobi said softly. Your mother and father, photographed a month before your birth and their deaths. The world tilted. Naruto gripped the desk, eyes locked on the photo. My father was the 4th Hokage, he whispered, recognizing the face from the monument he'd defaced as a child. The very same, Jiraiya confirmed, stepping beside him. My student, one of Konoha's greatest shinobi. Your mother, Kushina, the red-hot habanero, was feared across the nations for her temper and Uzumaki sealing mastery. Naruto's grip tightened. Why hide this? Why let me think I was unwanted, abandoned? Protection, Sarutobi replied. Minato made enemies in the 3rd Shinobi War. If word spread of his heir, assassins would have targeted you before you could defend yourself. Jiraiya nodded. The 9 tails mentioned Mito and Kushina as former Jinchuriki, didn't it? Your mother carried it before you. Surprise flashed across Sarutobi's face. You've communicated with the 9 tails. Part of a bargain, Naruto admitted. I gave it limited sensory access for Uzumaki information. Jiraiya straightened, alarmed. You did what? Relax, Naruto said, rolling up his sleeve to reveal a spiral seal on his forearm. I modified the sensory pathways without weakening the containment matrix. It can see and hear through me, nothing more. Both men gaped at the seal. That's high-level integration, Jiraiya stammered. How did you conceptualize the chakra flow redistribution? Naruto shrugged, self-conscious. I've been meditating on my seal. Once I grasped the 8 trigrams structure, the modifications felt obvious. Sarutobi and Jiraiya exchanged glances. He's further along than we thought, Sarutobi murmured. Like his parents, too clever for anyone's good, including his own, Jiraiya agreed, then clapped his hands. No point fighting it. If he's tinkering with the 9 tails seal, he needs proper training before he blows himself up or frees the fox. You're offering to teach me? Naruto asked, hope surging. Insisting, Jiraiya corrected. I was your father's sealing master and helped modify the Uzumaki 8 trigram seal containing the 9 tails. If anyone's qualified, it's me. Sarutobi nodded. I plan to wait until after Genin graduation, but circumstances force our hand. Jiraiya turned to Naruto, serious. Training with me won't be easy, kid. I'll push you harder than anyone. Still in. Naruto glanced at the photo, at the parents who shaped his destiny. When do we start? Wind whipped through Naruto's hair as he sped through the trees, arms trailing like wings. The forbidden scroll's weight on his back barely slowed him, chakra fueling each leap. You won't escape, demon brat. Mizuki's hate-filled voice echoed behind him. Naruto's mind raced faster than his feet. The night had spiraled into chaos, Mizuki's fake graduation test, stealing the forbidden scroll, Irika's intervention, and now this chase. But Naruto was no helpless child. His fingers brushed a spiral seal tattooed on his palm, one of many from 6 months with Jiraiya, each holding pre-prepared techniques for instant use. Just a bit further, Naruto muttered, sensing Mizuki closing in. The forest opened into a clearing perfect. Naruto skidded to a halt, facing Mizuki with the scroll clutched to his chest. Mizuki emerged, triumph twisting his face. End of the line, Nine Tails. Hand over the scroll, and I might let you live to see Konoha's downfall. Why, Mizuki-sensei? Naruto asked, feigning fear. I just wanted to pass the test. Mizuki's laugh was manic. You, a genin? A monster in human skin. The scroll's an opportunity. Lord Orochimaru will reward me for delivering it and the Nine Tails Jinchuriki. Orochimaru. Naruto's surprise was genuine. Jiraiya had mentioned his traitorous teammate, but Mizuki's link was unexpected. Enough. Mizuki snarled, unsheathing a massive shuriken. Die, demon. The weapon hurtled toward Naruto, passing through as his form shimmered and dissolved the projection seal. Mizuki spun, searching. When did you? About 30 seconds ago, Naruto's voice echoed from all directions. You were so focused, you missed me deploying it. Mizuki's rage contorted his face. Show yourself, coward. I'd rather not, Naruto said conversationally, voice bouncing around. Jiraiya-sensei says a shinobi who fights fair dies young. His fingers pressed a seal on his forearm, glowing as chakras surged through tags he'd planted earlier. A containment barrier shimmered, trapping Mizuki in a translucent dome. What's this? Mizuki growled, hissing as the barrier burned his hand. Chakra containment seal, version 3, Naruto explained, stepping into view outside. It won't hold you long, but it doesn't need to. Naruto unrolled a blank scroll, pressing his bloody thumb to its center. Characters spiraled outward, forming a complex array. When did you get so good with seals? Mizuki demanded, confusion breaking through his rage. You could barely make a clone in class. I've had great teachers and plenty of motivation, Naruto said coldly. The scroll glowed as he channeled chakra, projecting luminous chains that pierced the barrier, binding Mizuki. The Chunin struggled, then collapsed into energy, sucked into the scroll's matrix. A final chakra brush sealed him inside, conscious but immobilized. Naruto exhaled, tucking the scroll into his jacket as Iruka and two Umbu appeared. Naruto. Iruka called, relieved. Are you okay? Where's Mizuki? Naruto held up the scroll. Packaged for Ibiki-san. The Umbu exchanged glances, their surprise evident despite masks. You defeated and contained a Chunin, one asked, skeptical. Seals are convenient, Naruto shrugged, masking the chakra toll. Iruka laughed, breaking the tension. After this, you've more than earned your graduation. At dawn, Naruto sat cross-legged atop the fourth Hokage stone head on the Hokage monument, his new forehead protector gleaming. I made genin, Dad, he murmured to the stone. Not how we planned, but it worked. Within his seal, the Nine Tails watched silently. 6 months of sensory access revealed Naruto's growth, sparking both concern and reluctant admiration. The boy was dangerous not in a loud way, but as a subtle, unpredictable seal master. Each day brought new Uzumaki techniques, innovative even to the fox's ancient eyes. You're becoming interesting, Naruto Uzumaki, it rumbled in the mindscape, almost worthy of your bloodline. Naruto smiled faintly, sensing the fox's words. Just getting started, he promised, fingers tracing the spiral seals inked into his skin. Like his parents, he'd redefine what it meant to be a Jinchuriki. Like his clan, he'd make the world remember Uzumaki seals. But first, a team assignment and new challenges awaited. Stop doing that, it's creepy, Naruto blinked, breaking his stare at Sasuke Uchiha. Sorry, just analyzing your chakra signature. It's unusually dense for our age, almost like mine, minus the Nine Tails boost. Sasuke's expression tightened. My chakra's none of your business, Uzumaki. It kinda is if we're teammates, Naruto countered, leaning back in the empty classroom. Chakra compatibility matters for combo techniques. 3 days after the Mizuki incident, Naruto was assigned to Team 7 with Sasuke Uchiha. Naruto, Sakura Haruno, and Sasuke Uchiha waited in the classroom, their Jonin sensei, Kakashi Hatake, yet to appear hours after other teams had left. Sakura, seated between them, shifted uncomfortably, the team's tension palpable. Naruto's right about chakra compatibility, she ventured, eager to share her knowledge. During the Second Shinobi War, Konoha tested team formations based on complementary chakra signatures, not just balanced skills. See? Sakura gets it, Naruto grinned. Her chakra control is the most precise I've seen, perfect for genjutsu or medical ninjutsu. Sakura flushed at the unexpected praise. Over the past year, her view of Naruto had softened as his academic performance improved and his seal work earned grudging respect. How can you sense our chakra? She asked, curious. Naruto tapped a faint spiral mark on his temple. Sensory seal. It gives me basic chakra visualization, not Byakugan level, but enough to read signatures and flow patterns. Sasuke's eyes narrowed with reluctant interest. That's not an academy technique. Nope, Naruto said cheerfully. It's an Uzumaki clan technique I'm developing. Still tweaking the resolution, but it's great for tracking and team coordination. Before Sasuke could reply, the door slid open, revealing a silver-haired Jonin with a tilted headband covering one eye. My first impression, you're all patient, Kakashi Hatake drawled, his visible eye crinkling. Rooftop, 5 minutes. He vanished in a swirl of leaves. Show off, Naruto muttered, fingers forming seals. Race you there. Without waiting, he slapped his palm on the floor. A glowing seal spiraled outward, and Naruto dissolved into it, vanishing. Sasuke stared at the empty spot. Did he just teleport? Sakura whispered. Humph. As if an academy graduate could master the flying thunder god, Sasuke scoffed, though doubt crept into his voice. On the rooftop 4 minutes later, they found Naruto and Kakashi in a heated technical discussion, hands gesturing to illustrate chakra flow. Modified the anchor points for distance limits, Naruto was saying. Not as efficient as the fourths, but works for short-range transport. Kakashi's eye reflected concern and fascination. That's dangerously advanced space-time manipulation for your age. Yeah, Jiraiya-sensei said the same, then help refine the matrix, Naruto grinned. At Jiraiya's name, Kakashi sighed. Of course he did. That man never resists pushing boundaries with promising students. He turned to Sasuke and Sakura. Let's start introductions, names, likes, dislikes, hobbies, dreams. Why don't you go first, sensei? Sakura suggested. Kakashi's introduction revealed nothing beyond his name, the least informative in shinobi history. Naruto's, however, was starkly open. I'm Naruto Uzumaki, Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails and heir to the Uzumaki sealing traditions, he began, ignoring Kakashi's slight stiffening at the casual mention of his burden. I like ramen, complex seal designs, and people who judge actions, not circumstances. I dislike instant ramen's 3-minute wait, closed-minded villagers, and inefficient chakra patterns. Hobbies. Developing seals, studying historical matrices, and pranking those who deserve it with elaborate seal traps. My dream, his voice grew serious. To become a Hokage worthy of my parents, protect all of Konoha, rebuild ties with my clan's homeland, and change how the world sees Jinchuriki. Silence followed. Sasuke's narrowed eyes hinted at reassessment, while Sakura looked impressed yet puzzled by unfamiliar terms. Kakashi mentally tallied the security protocols Naruto's speech breached. Sakura's and Sasuke's introductions were standard, though Suzuki's vow to kill a certain man cast a brief shadow. "Well," Kakashi said, "you're an interesting group. Meet tomorrow, training ground 7, 5 a.m. sharp for your real genin test." "Real test?" Sakura echoed. "The academy exam identifies potential," Kakashi explained lazily. "Jonin administer the pass/fail evaluation. Oh, and skip breakfast, you'll probably throw up." He vanished in a leaf swirl, leaving them to digest the news. "That's ominous," Naruto remarked. "Strategy session at my place? It's got decent privacy seals." Suzuki, surprisingly, nodded. "Fun. We should prepare." Sakura agreed, partly to stay near Suzuki, partly out of genuine concern. As they left, Naruto's mind raced. Despite his confidence, their team was fragile. Suzuki's trauma-fueled isolation, Sakura's crush-driven focus, his own complex history, and Kakashi's notorious strictness. Inside, the Nine Tails stirred. "The copy ninja's your sensei? Interesting. He was your father's student, you know." Naruto nearly stumbled. "You never mentioned that." "You never asked," the fox replied smugly. "Our deal could include more than Uzumaki history." "And what's the price this time?" Naruto asked warily. The fox chuckled. "I have a vested interest in your survival, which this Jonin might help or hinder, depending." Cryptic, but the Nine Tails had been forthcoming with history to ease its boredom. Another conversation for later. For now, Naruto had a team to unite and a test to ace. Dawn bathed training ground 7 in gold and crimson as the genin arrived, carrying gear beyond standard issue. "Sure about this intel?" Suzuki asked, adjusting a pouch Naruto provided. "It's Kunao enhanced with seal-based chakra conductivity." "Positive," Naruto confirmed. "I cross-referenced 3 sources on Kakashi-sensei's tests. It's always a bell test, designed to divide teammates while assessing individual skills. Their strategy session had fostered tentative teamwork, especially after Naruto shared his detailed research on Kakashi, honed from years of being underestimated. The challenge isn't grabbing the bells, Sakura recited, but showing we grasp teamwork despite the setup to split us. Suzuki nodded, a competitive glint in his eyes. So, we give him what he doesn't expect, coordination from the start. At 7 a.m., 2 hours late, Kakashi strolled in, orange book in hand. You're late. Sakura accused, playing her role. A black cat crossed my path, Kakashi said blandly, producing 2 bells. Objective, get a bell by noon. Whoever fails returns to the academy. But there are only 2 bells. Sakura protested, on cue. Indeed, Kakashi smiled. At least one of you will fail. Begin. The genin vanished into the foliage with practiced coordination that might have impressed Kakashi had he not projected indifference, absorbed in his book. His senses, however, tracked them, Suzuki in a tree to the east, Sakura under a genjutsu-enhanced bush to the north, and Naruto. Kakashi frowned. Naruto's chakra signature was scattered in tiny, pulsing fragments across the field. Seal-based chakra dispersion? Advanced for a genin, but not surprising given his training. A ripple behind him signaled 3 shuriken. Kakashi sidestepped without looking, dodging a follow-up barrage from another angle. Suzuki emerged, hands flashing. Fire style, great fireball jutsu. A flaming sphere roared toward Kakashi, who substituted with a charred log. Ninjutsu already. Kakashi remarked, reappearing. I haven't said go. The ground erupted as Sakura lunged, fist aimed at his chin in a textbook uppercut. Kakashi caught her wrist, pivoting to redirect her momentum. Decent taijutsu, but you telegraph. His critique stopped as Sakura dissolved into smoke, a shadow clone. Its dispersion released a blinding flash, dazing even Kakashi's seasoned vision. Flashbang seal in a shadow clone, Kakashi muttered, blinking away spots. That's new. The real Sakura emerged, casting a low-rank genjutsu. Combined with Kakashi's impaired vision, it was a smart move. He channeled chakra to dispel it, but his flow felt sluggish, like moving through syrup. Chakra disruption seal, he realized, spotting a faint pattern on his flak jacket from touching the clone. Not strong enough to stop a Jonin, but annoying. Sasuke attacked, his taijutsu polished beyond academy norms, targeting spots where Kakashi's hampered chakra slowed him. The precision suggested either keen insight or pre-planning. As they clashed, Kakashi still holding back brushstroke sounds echoed. Naruto's shadow clones, hidden around a clearing, drew pulsing seal arrays. Perimeter seals to restrict my movement, Kakashi assessed, kicking Sasuke back. Ambitious, but predictable. Less predictable was a caustic, ancient chakra signature unmistakably Vulpin. For a split second, Kakashi's focus wavered, trauma from the Nine-Tails attack on Konoha triggering honed reflexes. That brief lapse was exactly what Team 7 needed. Seal matrices across the clearing activated in unison, not to trap Kakashi as he'd assumed, but to teleport his 3 students directly to him in a coordinated formation, Sasuke from below, Sakura from behind, Naruto from above. Their synchronized triangle attack nearly caught him. Kakashi's instincts triggered a body flicker, escaping with milliseconds to spare, but not before Naruto's fingers grazed his pocket. Landing 20 feet away, Kakashi's visible eye widened as the bells jingled not at his waist, but in Naruto's raised hand. Got him, Naruto grinned, holding both prizes. No Genin team had ever retrieved the bells, let alone in the first 10 minutes. Interesting approach, Kakashi said, masking his surprise. But with only 2 bells for 3, who goes back to the academy? The Genin exchanged glances. Naruto tossed 1 bell to Sasuke, the other to Sakura. I volunteer, he declared. My ceiling needs work, and I can try again next year. Sakura thrust her bell toward Naruto. No, you take it? Your plan made this possible. Keep it, Sasuke interrupted, offering his own. You both did more. I should return for training. Kakashi's eye curved upward. Well, an interesting development. He clapped sharply. You all pass. Naruto grinned, revealing 3 identical bells in his other hand. These are the real ones. Those, he gestured to his teammates' bells, are seal-crafted duplicates. Kakashi patted his pocket, finding fake bells chakra-infused paper mimics, flawless down to their jingle. When did you? Shadow clone, transformed into a pebble by your feet during your speech, Naruto explained. Basic misdirection while you explained the test. For a moment, pride or concern or both cracked Kakashi's indifference. I may have underestimated you, he admitted. All of you. This test evaluates teamwork over individual gain. We know, Sakura said confidently. Naruto researched your methodology extensively. Kakashi's gaze locked on Naruto. And that Nine-Tails chakra flare wasn't accidental, was it? Naruto looked sheepish. Tactical distraction. The fox agreed to a controlled leak just enough to ping your senses, no danger. You negotiated with the Nine-Tails for a bell test. Kakashi's deadpan hid disbelief. I drive a hard bargain, Naruto shrugged. It was curious about you. Apparently, you've got a reputation, even among tailed beasts. A complex emotion crossed Kakashi's visible face, as if his worldview had shifted. Training starts tomorrow, 7 You mean 9? Sakura asked innocently. Kakashi smiled. Be careful, my cute Genin. Disrespect leads to unfortunate training accidents. He vanished in a leaf swirl, leaving Team 7 alone, officially Konoha's newest ninja cell and perhaps its most unconventional. That was awesome, Naruto declared, flopping onto the grass. Sasuke made a non-committal sound, lacking its usual scorn. Your seal network was effective. Effective. Naruto sat up, indignant. It was brilliant, Sasuke. Admitted my transport matrix is the coolest thing you've seen. What about that chakra flare? Sakura asked, settling beside them. Isn't using the Nine Tails power risky? Controlled release, Naruto waved off. Like opening a pressure valve for half a second, just enough for an effect, not drawing its chakra. Inside, the Nine Tails snorted. Such confidence, as if I couldn't overwhelm your pitiful control. But you didn't, Naruto thought back, because you're curious about what's next. The fox's silence confirmed it. We should celebrate, Naruto suggested aloud. Ramen, my treat. Pass, Sasuke said, rising. I need to train. Come on, Naruto protested. Team bonding, strategic planning, mission prep. Sasuke hesitated, torn between isolation and their proven teamwork. Fine, he conceded grudgingly. 1 hour. Yes. Naruto pumped his fist. Sakura, you in? She glanced between them, calculating. Yeah, I'll come. As they walked toward the village, Naruto, flanked by teammates who'd once shunned him, felt a powerful, unfamiliar surge belonging, not from attention-seeking, but from mutual respect and shared purpose. It rivaled the thrill of mastering a new seal. Tora the cat yowled as Naruto's seal-enhanced rope snared it, tightening just enough to hold without harm. Target acquired, he reported via a communication seal on his throat, voice clear to his teammates' identical seals. East Quadrant, near the memorial stone. Roger, Sakura replied. Sasuke and I are converging. Don't approach directly. Trust me, Naruto warned, eyeing the thrashing feline. This monster's got one more escape up its sleeve. 4 weeks into Genin Beauties, Team 7 turned D-rank missions into tactical exercises. Capturing the Fire Daimyo's wife's cat, a nightmare for most Genin, tested Naruto's new field communication seals. As Sasuke approached, Tora went berserk, claws extending unnaturally, shredding the reinforced rope like paper. What the? Naruto dodged claws aimed at his face. Since when can it do that? Chakra channeling feline, Sasuke observed, hands flashing. Fire style, Phoenix Flower Jutsu. Tiny fireballs peppered the ground, hurting Tora toward Sakura. Sasuke, she scolded via the seal. We can't barbecue the target. I'm controlling the flames, he retorted, Uchiha confidence in his voice. Preparing intercept in 3-2, Sakura emerged, arms outstretched, but Tora leaped over her, defying physics. Oh, no you don't. Naruto slapped the ground. Sealing technique, temporal anchor. The air shimmered around Tora, thickening like molasses. The cat's leap slowed, suspended mid-air. Sakura snagged it in a padded carrier. Wow, Naruto, Sakura said. A time manipulation seal. Not quite, he explained, wiping sweat. It creates a resistance field, like running through deep water. Took more chakra than I'd hoped. Sasuke, deactivating his Sharingan, approached with interest. That could slow enemies in combat while allies move freely. That's the goal, Naruto said. But the chakra cost is too high for bigger targets, and I haven't cracked selective exclusion. It affects everything in the field. Sakura secured Tora's carrier, muffling its growls. Back to the mission office, then. 4th D rank this week. About that, Naruto's tone turned sly. It's time for something tougher. You're demanding a C rank, Sasuke stated. We've proven ourselves with these chores, Naruto argued. Even Kakashi-sensei says our team works Genin level when he shows up. Sakura nodded, fond exasperation in her voice. He trusts us to work independently, which is more than most jonin say. Suzuki's non-committal grunt signaled reluctant agreement. An hour later, after returning Torrid to its overly affectionate owner, Team 7 stood before the mission desk, where Sarutobi and Irika oversaw assignments. Another successful capture, Sarutobi noted, marking the mission complete. The fastest Tora retrieval on record. Thank you, Lord Hokage, Sakura said, nudging Naruto before he could speak less diplomatically. We'd like a C-rank mission, Suzuki said, surprising his teammates by taking the lead. Irika frowned. You've been genin for a month. That's too soon. Standard progression doesn't account for specialized skills, Naruto countered. We've completed 26 D ranks with perfect efficiency. Kakashi-sensei called our coordination Chunin level. Where is your sensei now? Sarutobi asked mildly. Probably reading porn in a tree, Naruto muttered, then caught himself. I mean, handling important jonin beauties, sir. Sarutobi's lips twitched. Indeed. We do have a suitable C rank, a protection detail for a bridge builder returning to the land of waves. Team 7's excitement surged. However, Sarutobi continued, I'd prefer your full team present to accept. On cue, the window slid open, and Kakashi climbed through with casual disregard for doors. Did someone mention my adorable students? He asked cheerfully. Just checking their progress. Through the window. Irika sighed. Doors are limiting, Kakashi smiled, then turned serious. I hear my team wants a C rank the bridge builder detail. Sarutobi nodded. Your assessment of their readiness. Kakashi eyed his students. They've shown exceptional teamwork. Sakura's genjutsu has improved, Suzuki's expanded beyond fire techniques, and Naruto's seal work offers unique tactics. He paused. They're as ready as any genin team. I recommend approval. A silent understanding passed between Jonin and Hokage, rooted in shared history. Very well, Sarutobi said. Team 7 will escort Tajuna, the bridge builder, to the land of waves and protect him until his project's complete. Triumph flared in Naruto, barely contained. A real mission, outside Konoha, in another country. Send in the client, Sarutobi instructed an aide. Moments later, an elderly man with weathered features and the faint smell of sake stumbled in. Tajuna eyed Team 7 skeptically. These are my protectors. They're just kids. Adjusting his glasses, he squinted at Naruto. Especially the short one with the dumb face. Naruto bristled. Who's got a dumb face, old man? Now, Kakashi interjected smoothly. My team is more than capable of handling bandits and robbers. I'm a jonin, an elite ninja, accompanying them. Tajuna seemed slightly reassured by Kakashi's presence, though his doubtful gaze lingered on Naruto's scowl. Fine. We leave tomorrow. I need to get to Wave Country to finish my bridge. Outside the mission office, Naruto matched Kakashi's stride, lowering his voice. Sensei, you didn't mention my Nine Tails connection when reviewing our skills. Is that still classified? Kakashi's single eye sharpened. The Hokage and I know your status. For this C rank, there's no need to share details that could complicate foreign relations. Keep the fox under wraps, got it? Naruto nodded, then hesitated. But if things go south? Let's hope they don't, Kakashi said. C ranks rarely involve threats requiring that. Inside, the Nine Tails stirred. The land of waves. Brings back memories. You been there? Naruto thought, surprised. Long before you, the fox replied cryptically. When lands shifted and humans hadn't carved the world with their petty borders. Naruto had grown used to the fox's vague historical musings, its ancient perspective making modern borders seem trivial. Anything I should know about the area? He pressed. A chuckle rumbled. Pack extra sealing supplies, little jailer. Something tells me you'll need them. The fox's ominous tone felt like a taunt, yet Naruto sensed genuine warning. That night, he added 3 extra scrolls of seal paper and specialty inks to his pack, just in case. The puddle was laughably obvious. Naruto exchanged glances with his teammates as they passed the water hazard on the sun-baked road. No rain had fallen in weeks. Even academy students would spot the genjutsu. Kakashi-sensei's testing us again, Naruto thought, adjusting his seal-enhanced kunai holster. But something felt wrong. His sensory seal detected 2 foreign chakra signatures, their compressed patterns screaming hidden mist techniques, not Kakashi's. Enemy shinobi, Naruto realized, a mix of alarm and excitement surging. He activated his communication seal with a chakra pulse. 2 hostiles, disguised as a puddle, 20 paces back, he sub-vocalized. Sasuke's hand drifted to his weapons pouch, the only sign he'd heard. Sakura chatted with Tajuna about bridge architecture, her casual demeanor hiding a protective stance. Kakashi, trailing behind, gave no hint he'd noticed, though Naruto suspected he'd clocked the threat first. Why no signal? Naruto wondered. A test of our response? The attack came suddenly. Shredded chains slashed around Kakashi, seemingly tearing him apart in a brutal cross-slash. Sakura's scream, perfectly timed as a signal, pierced the air. The demon brothers emerged from their watery disguise, gauntlet arms trailing lethal chains, charging Tajuna. 1 down, 4 to go. Naruto's fingers flew, slapping the ground. Seal style, gravity anchor. Chakra-infused symbols rippled outward, quintupling one attacker's weight. The ninja lurched, momentum halted. Sasuke seized the opening, launching shuriken to pin the second attacker's chain to a tree, following with a precise kick that sent him reeling. Protect the client. Naruto barked. Sakura drew her kunai, scanning for threats. The first demon brother fought the gravity seal, his gauntlet releasing poison claws. Little brats, his threat died as Naruto slapped a seal on his chest. Paralytic array, activate. Electricity crackled, short-circuiting the ninja's nervous system. He collapsed, twitching. The second attacker dove for Tajuna. Sakura intercepted, her fist hitting his solar plexus. A seal on her knuckles detonated, rupturing his chakra pathways. The mist ninja dropped, gasping, jutsu disabled. Impressive teamwork, Kakashi's voice came from the tree line as he strolled out. A bit excessive for a C rank, though. Substitution, Sasuke noted, eyeing the splintered log where Kakashi had died. Of course, Naruto muttered, brushing off dirt. He wanted to see how we'd handle it. Kakashi's eye curved. Or I wanted to know why Chunin-level missing nin from Hidden Mist would target a bridge builder. His gaze hardened on Tajuna. Care to explain? Tajuna paled. That is. Save it, Kakashi said, pulling rope to bind the ninjas. These are the demon brothers, wanted for assassinations. They don't target civilians without reason, unless someone lied about the mission. Naruto crossed his arms accusingly. Tajuna's shoulders slumped. My country is suffering. A businessman, Gato, controls our shipping, choking our economy. My bridges are only hope to break his monopoly. Gato, the shipping magnate. Sakura's brow furrowed. He's one of the richest men in the 5 nations. A parasite thriving on crime, Tajuna spat. He's bled wave dry and wants me dead to stop the bridge. So, you lied to afford protection, Kakashi said bluntly. This is B rank at minimum, possibly A rank, depending on Gato's forces. The implications loomed. Protocol demanded abandoning the mission. Genin weren't cleared for B rank threats. We're continuing, Sasuke declared, Uchiha resolve firm. Sakura nodded, resolute. We can't abandon them. It's not that simple, Kakashi sighed. It's manageable, Naruto countered, eyes blazing. The demon brothers were nothing against our teamwork. I've got 30 combat seals ready, Sasuke's Sharingan is active, and Sakura's analysis is Chunin level. He stepped closer, voice low so Tajuna couldn't hear. If it gets dire, Sensei, I have resources. The unspoken Ninetales reference hung between them. Kakashi studied his students. Their rapid growth, spurred by Naruto's unconventional training, outpaced expectations. Standard protocols didn't account for a seal prodigy, an Uchiha genius, and a kunoichi with emerging combat-ready chakra control. We'll continue, he decided. But you obey my orders instantly. If we're outmatched, we withdraw. Relief washed over Tajuna. Thank you. If you're hiding more, Kakashi cut in, his killing intent making Tajuna flinch. Speak now. Tajuna swallowed. Gato hired a high-level missing nin, Zabuza Mamakai, the demon of the hidden mist. Kakashi's eye widened slightly. One of the 7 swordsmen of the mist. That changes things. Not enough to turn back, Naruto insisted, fingers twitching toward his seal pouches. I'll tweak my combat arrays for water-based counters. Standard lightning seals won't cut it against A-rank water techniques. The Ninetales stirred, chuckling. The demon of the hidden mist? How nostalgic. I watched his bloody graduation ceremony, such carnage. Naruto suppressed a shudder at the fox's casual mention of Zabuza's infamous slaughter of his graduating class. We should move, Sasuke suggested, scanning the forest. If these two reported to Zabuza, he'll know our location. Agreed, Kakashi nodded. Naruto, can your sensory seal detect surveillance within 100 meters? Yes. Nothing but these two, Naruto said, nudging an unconscious demon brother. I'll handle them, Kakashi said, summoning a small ninkin. Hakun, take a message to Konoha's intelligence division. We have 2 gifts for them. As they left the bound assassins for retrieval, Naruto's mind raced with seal modifications. Facing Zabuza would demand innovations beyond his current arsenal. The Ninetales watched, intrigued, as Naruto's thoughts wove complex seal patterns. Planning something dangerous. Contingencies, Naruto replied. Zabuza's no Chunin threat. I need options. Options using my power, perhaps. The fox's voice held anticipation. If necessary, Naruto thought, the fox's laughter echoing in his mindscape. Prepare your contingencies, little seal master. This will be entertaining. Miles ahead, cloaked in mist, Zabuza Mamakai cleaned his massive blade with precision, unaware his next opponent was crafting seals to counter his legendary techniques. The dance of demons and Jinchuriki was about to begin. The mist descended without warning, unnatural and chakra-laden, smothering light and sound. One moment, Team 7 escorted Tajuna across a lake by boat, the next, they were engulfed in blinding whiteness. Defensive formation. Kakashi ordered, lifting his headband to reveal his Sharingan. Naruto, sensory parameters, Kakashi said. Naruto pressed his temple seal, chakra pulsing as he scanned. Massive signature approaching from all directions. The mist itself is infused with his presence hidden mist jutsu. Kakashi nodded grimly. Zabuza's specialty. He hunts by sound alone in. A disembodied chuckle rolled through the fog like thunder. Copy Ninja Kakashi, what a pleasure. Your head will fetch a fine price. Naruto's hands flashed through seals, slamming his palm to the ground. Seal style, perimeter detection array. Chakra rippled outward, ink spiraling from his fingertips into an expanding circle of symbols. The technique wouldn't clear the mist but would alert them to any physical presence crossing its boundary. 8 points, Zabuza's voice echoed ominously. Larynx, spine, lungs, liver, jugular, subclavian artery, kidneys, Hard, so many choices for a killing blow. His killing intent saturated the mist, oppressive and primal. Tajuna gasped for air, while even Sasuke's trembling fingers reached for his kunai. Stay calm, Kakashi commanded. He's trying to paralyze you with fear. Zabuza Momokai is strong, but not invincible. Naruto's senses jolted as massive steel cleaved where Kakashi had stood. The Jonin dodged with uncanny reflexes, countering with a kunai that sparked against Zabuza's enormous blade. Not bad, the missing Ning grinned beneath his bandaged face. But let's see how your kids fare. He vanished into the mist, water clone jutsu multiplying his presence across the battlefield. Sakura's scream cut through as a Zabuza clone appeared behind Tajuna, sword swinging for his neck. Protection seal, activate. Naruto shouted. A tag he'd placed on Tajuna's back ignited with blue energy, stopping the blade against an invisible chakra barrier. Sasuke capitalized, shuriken dispersing the clone into puddles. The real one's still out there. Kakashi warned as Zabuza erupted from the lake, blade arcing to cleave them all. Time slowed for Naruto as adrenaline and instinct collided. His hands formed untested seals, channeling chakra through burning pathways. Uzumaki sealing art, crimson barrier wall. Blood chakras surged from his palms, forming a translucent red wall that solidified just before Zabuza's blade struck. The impact shook the ground, both Naruto and Zabuza staring in shock at the blood-red barrier and improvised Uzumaki technique born of desperation. Then, cracks spider-webbed across it under Zabuza's strength. Naruto staggered, blood dripping from his nose from the chakra drain. A sealing prodigy, Zabuza said, eyes narrowing with interest. Unexpected, but not enough. His blade shattered the barrier, continuing toward Naruto's chest. A lightning-fast substitution swapped Naruto for Kakashi, who parried with a chakra-infused kunai. Your fights with me, Zabuza. The Jonin-level shinobi clashed in a blur of water clones and substitutions, Kakashi's Sharingan countering Zabuza's strength with precision. Protect Tajuna. Kakashi ordered, pushing Zabuza toward the lake. This isn't a genin fight. Retreat wasn't an option as 3 water clones surrounded Team 7, each wielding Zabuza's massive blade. What now, Seal Boy? One taunted. That barrier won't save you again. Naruto's mind raced, his chakra reserve strained from the blood barrier. Sasuke, Formation Delta, he called, grabbing specialized tag pouches. Sakura, Shield Tajuna. Sasuke's Sharingan blazed, moving in sync with Naruto. Their drilled delta pattern countered water-based threats. Sasuke's hands blurred. Fire style, Great Dragon Flame. A superheated fire dragon roared, not at the clones but at the misty air, creating a steam pocket. In that brief window of visibility, Naruto struck. Seal Array, Electric Circuit. Pre-prepared tags landed around the clones, chakras surging through a matrix. Electricity arced, exploiting the clones' watery conductivity. They collapsed into puddles, swords dissolving. We did it? Sakura exclaimed, holding her stance before Tajuna. Not yet, Sasuke warned, eyes on the lake where Kakashi and Zabuza's battle peaked. Horror gripped them as Zabuza trapped Kakashi in a water prison, neutralizing their sensei. One down. Zabuza called, maintaining the prison with one hand while forming signs for more clones. Your turn, little ninja wannabes. Fresh clones emerged, their killing intent overwhelming. Run. Kakashi shouted from the prison. He needs contact with the prison, get Tajuna away. Flight made sense, but defiance surged in Naruto. He glanced at Sasuke, seeing mirrored resolve, and even Sakura stood firm despite trembling hands. I have a plan, Naruto said, voice steady despite fear. It's risky as hell. We're with you, Sakura affirmed, her conviction surprising even herself. Naruto nodded, forming forbidden seals. Jiraiya had warned against using unsupervised. Sasuke, I need 30 seconds. Can you buy them? Sasuke snorted. Try to keep up. He engaged the clones with fire techniques and taijutsu, buying time. Naruto completed the sequence, pressing his palms to his stomach over the 8 trigram seal. 9 tails, he whispered, diving into his mindscape while his body stood still. I need your chakra. The fox grinned behind its bars, eyes gleaming. Finally asking directly? How desperate you are. Will you help or not? Naruto demanded, aware seconds in the mindscape were critical in the battle. What's in it for me, little jailer? Sensory extension, 1 full day taste, touch, smell, everything. The fox's eyes narrowed. 3 days. 2. And that's generous. A laugh shook the mindscape. Very well. 2 days of full sensory access and the joy of unleashing my power on that water wielder. Deal. In the real world, red chakra erupted around Naruto, wild and caustic, boiling the air. His whisker marks deepened, nails sharpened into claws, canines grew feral. Not a full transformation, but enough 9 tails power to fuel what came next. Uzumaki sealing art.